today's video is going to be on, I don't know if anyone has ever played it, AfterBurner Climax. It's actually it was a 360 and PS3 sort of arcade game that came out, and it's sadly it's been delisted now. It came out in April of 2010. And then sadly it was delisted on the 14th of December. December 2014.
AfterBurner Climax.
It has been re-released since on mobile, on the Sega Forever, what is it called? Sega Forever service, whatever that is. I've never heard of it. This is a fun little game. It's only literally like 20 minutes or so. It's not particularly that difficult. But it's sad that you can't play this anymore. Well, unless you bought it. It's a very quick game. I've pretty much unlocked everything on it, so.
AfterBurner Climax. Select aircraft.
Okay, we had Tomcat the first time. Let's go with the Strike Eagle.
Super Hornet. Fire! Fire! Fire!
And we're even enabling the original AfterBurner music from the, I think it's the arcade game, Mega Drive, and the Sega Master System. I mean, I played this on would have been Sega Master System's my first encounter with AfterBurner. It's a really good game. It's I picked it up with a load of other games at cash converters in, I'm gonna say, the very early 90s, maybe 91, 92. It was, oh god, it was AfterBurner. What was the other one? Space Harrier, which this is going to be a really unpopular opinion, but I think Space Harrier is one of the biggest load of shit I've ever played. Absolute crap. But a lot of people love AfterBurner. I just didn't see the appeal of AfterBurner at all when I played it. I mean, you know, fair enough. Just, I don't know what it was that people saw in that game. I just didn't get anything out of it at all. There's a lot of those types of games, like, I mean, Toys R Us in the UK, for instance, I managed to pick up, what was it, that wasn't good. Golden Axe, the Master System version, which is surprisingly good. It's only a single player, but it's actually rather good. And the other one would have been, another one I just really wasn't that impressed with, was Shadow of the Beast, which just thought was another rather shit video game. I don't know what it is about those, that particular, it's another one I just wasn't that impressed with as a child. Not sure why. Golden Axe, again, that was a really good game on the Master System, and Mega Drive version is stellar. The arcade version is better, but still pretty good. And what else? I'm just trying to think what I had on Master System, because Master System was my first introduction to video games in general, I believe. I think I might have at one point played a little bit of Atari, but the games on things like Atari just aren't. There's a point in time where they are relevant in terms of a classics sort of perspective, but they're not saying, well, maybe for older generations, I suppose, but I don't find any nostalgia in that stuff. It is so primitive that, you know, But I did remember playing tanks and a few bits and bobs like that. But the Master System is pretty much where I sort of delve into. I'm trying to think of the actual collection of games I had. So, Alex, I had the Master System 2, so wasn't as good as the Master System 1 because it only had RF out on it, so you couldn't. It wasn't like the original Master System, which was a much longer, bigger model. It had the ability to read cards, I believe, if memory serves me correctly. But there's some cool stuff on the Master System. I remember playing the Ninja. But the games that I had personally, so Alex the Kid was built into it in Miracle Land. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which was a surprisingly... I'd say Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on the Master System is more difficult than Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on the Mega Drive. It really is a really difficult game to actually play and beat. I never did it as a kid. What else do we have? Wonder Boy 3, The Dragon's Trap. Golden Axe, I've already said. Shadow of the Beast. Action Fighter. Grand Prix, I think it was called. Action Fighter is another one that's actually very difficult, but quite a lot of fun. What else was there? Wonder Boy 3, The Dragon's Trap was just stellar, even though at the time I was just not very good at it because it's a very well, I wouldn't say it's hard, but it's a tricky game to beat. It's quite a long one from what memory serves. And there was one called Donald Duck, the Lucky Dime chapter starring Donald Duck. That was another one that was quite a lot of fun. Tricky, but a lot of fun. There was so many games on Massive. Grand Prix, that's another one I remember I owned. For sure. I did play Sonic 1. Sonic 1 on the Master System is a really good game. I'd probably say Sonic 1 is actually better than Sonic 2. I was talking at this today, like, even though I've got all the cheats on, because this is the only game I think I've ever actually unlocked all the achievements on. But the Master System is a funny old system, because it was incredibly popular in Europe, especially in the UK. Elsewhere in other countries like the US, the Master System was just nothing really. It wasn't even competition for the NES. But the Master System, I would say, was probably, if not a lot of competition for the original NES, because it was just, it would have been cheaper, guaranteed, because Nintendo products, especially at that time, were not exactly what I define as cheap. And for everything I understand about Nintendo as a company, they focus predominantly on the US, so the European market was easily for its taking in this situation. So, sadly, obviously, Sega are no longer in the console business anymore, which at the time I didn't really care, because I was sort of 15, 16 years old, so it wasn't something I really gave a damn about. But looking back at it now, it's incredibly sad. Shit, a missile behind me. There's a missile behind. If you get the chance to play this, though, I would recommend it. It's well worth the... I'm guessing it would have been at the time about 10, 12 quid, maybe 14 quid, if that. Saw the Batman at the cinema last week. Very, very enjoyable. Different to say the Nolan trilogy, but it really was sort of a mixture of Batman, Seven. Some would say Saw, although it doesn't have a lot. It doesn't have what I'd class as massive in terms of like graphic, like blood and gore. But there's a lot of interesting things there within the film, and it's 3.5. It's about 2 hours. It's 2 hours 50 minutes, so it's a long ass film. And yes, they did show the well, there is a credit scene at the end of the film that does, spoiler alert, that indicates that is the Joker in Arkham Hospital. Or I don't believe it's Arkham Asylum as of yet. I could be wrong on that, but it's an interesting film. The Batmobile in it in particular was very grounded. It's just a muscle car as such. But the Riddler was an interesting character in the film. He was very sort of... he's more of a psychopath in a way. Well, he was. He was very sort of... He was probably more unpredictable than what I was expecting from, say, the Riddler. When you think of the Riddler, you think of... Well, I would have thought most people have a tendency to think of... the Batman Forever version that Jim Carrey did, which is, you know, fair enough. You know, everyone jokes about that, but you know, it's the version people think of, and he is sort of a mastermind and such. Sort of giving me flashbacks of Lilac Wars. So I would recommend, if you get the chance to see it, it's well worth seeing. I failed to destroy them, I'm afraid. And it's destroyed. Certainly not my best playthrough, but not bad. If only this was some type of reality, with the stuff going on with Ukraine and Russia at the moment. It's nice to sort of dismiss the media because it never stops. It's not COVID, it's something else, unfortunately. But getting back to gaming and films in general and fun stuff, essentially, I'd recommend this. If you've got a copy of it digitally, or even it's on mobile devices on the Sega Forever channel, it's worth it. I don't know how much it is, but it's certainly worth what I paid for it at the time. Well, not far off my best score.